Collectibles, I'm pleased, has done as well as it has. And it's won a bunch of awards, as you said, and it's gotten wonderful reviews and so on, which I'm very grateful for. But the thing that meant the most to me in this whole process has been the fact that once a week or so I get a letter from a man or woman across the country whom I don't know saying, this book has affected the way I look at life. This book has changed my life, and I can't thank you enough. Now, they don't write to me when they do this. They write to this website, and they don't know that I'm getting this email, but I answer it within 5 minutes, every one of them. And there's been over 100 some, because I'm so grateful that somebody would take the time to write to me and tell me how they feel about it. And that has meant a lot. And in the process of that experience, so many people have said, either in reviews or in writing me, that they can't wait for another book. They want to know about what happened to the collectibles, and that's where I got the idea of writing a trilogy. The problem was I'd never written a trilogy, and I didn't know how to write a trilogy, and this was my first book, so I had to figure out how do you write a trilogy, and I did my best to understand the arc of a trilogy in the first book and book 2 and book 3 and how it would work. And you'll be the judge ultimately, not me, about whether I've succeeded in my goal. But I hope that book 2, and it'll be interesting to hear your remarks really about whether book 2, how you felt about it, particularly if you've read book 1, and how you felt about it in terms of the arc of that story and what really has happened to Preston and what kind of a role he sees himself playing in his future as contrasted with what he perhaps should be doing in his future. When I ended the collectibles, and that last line about that son of a bitch on the 6th collectible, I had one reviewer write me, wrote a 5-star review. He said, the only thing is, I don't know why he had to use that language. And one of the things that I decided to do with book 2 is to try to tamper the, you may have noticed it's a lot less, the dialogue's just a little bit toned down from the first book, and that was done intentionally because I think I got carried away in the first book of the way, perhaps the way I thought the characters would talk. Was it really necessary for them to talk that way? It's kind of interesting, an evolution that you go through in that regard. But the real question was, and the reason I had Preston use those words is because to him, he viewed himself differently than all the other collectibles. And to him, it was they, and then I'm one of them. And the whole question I wanted to put to my readers in book 2 is it a them and us kind of thing, a they, or is it really a question of underlying values over here versus perhaps a different set of values over there? You know, the collectibles, the theme was not about control or money, but about extensions of the heart. In the concealers, the concealers asks a different question. It asks, how relevant is the truth today?